as Pythagoras said, and the numbers count. We need to bring home our investment dollars as well. That means unlocking our resources, and part of my Bring It Home plan is to repeal the No New Development Liberal Law C-69. We're going to build Canadian pipelines, Canadian factories. We're going to dig Canadian mines. We're going to build great Canadian can-new reactors with Canadian uranium powering them. And this is a big difference, because on the other side, Mark Carney wants to keep all of the same keep it in the ground extremism as his predecessor and protege, Justin Trudeau. He says he wants to keep C-69, the no development law, keep the energy cap that blocks our industry from producing more oil and gas, while allowing the Americans, Venezuelans, and Saudis to produce as much as they want. He says that 80% of our oil will have to stay in the ground, which means that's like burying our biggest and most important financial asset. This is a great way to make us even more reliant on the Americans, but that's the choice in this election. Do you want, after a lost Liberal decade, to keep our wealth in the ground, block our resources, and depend on the Americans for a fourth Liberal term, or do you want to unlock the power of Canadian energy, Canadian mines? We're also going to get rid of the entire carbon tax, the industrial tax. We're going to ask the tax. This is a tax the Liberals put in place for 7 years. They expect to fool Canadians by hiding it in the gas pumps for 28 days, even though it is still on the books, and they can raise it right back up the day after the next election if, God forbid, they were to win again. Mr. Carney says he wants to hit Canadian steel, aluminum, potash, and other essentials with this tax. I will axe the tax for real, for everyone, for good. We will cut 25% of the rules and regulations that the Government of Canada imposes, so that our small businesses spend less time filling out paperwork and more time hiring workers and serving customers. We're going to unlock the power of our entrepreneurs again, and we're going to reinvest in the next generation of people who build stuff, make stuff, move stuff, and make stuff. Are working tradespeople in this country. It's not soon. Do you have any trades in the room today? What are you, sir? A bricklayer. You know, Winston Churchill was actually a bricklayer. He wasn't very good at it. It's too hard a job for a politician to do, but nevertheless, a very important job. So you're a mason as well? Okay, full-on mason. Fantastic. That's tough work. Requires a lot of patience. What about the gentleman behind you? CNC machinist. That takes a lot of brain power. Those machines are very impressive. Anyway, what have we got over here? You're a skater? Plumber. Right on. Plumber. United Associations. Right on, you got a great union. Yes, your union has endorsed us as well. Thank you very much to the plumbers and electricians. What do we got over here? What's that? A tool maker. Okay, so well done. Excellent. That's fantastic. Yes, who else do we got? We got another trade. Yes, this young lady here. A laborer. Excellent. Very important, hard work. Thank you very much. stole that joke from Johnny McDonald. What do we got over here? What do we got over here, Tommy? We got carpenters everywhere. Guys with the hammers. Amazing. You know, the tradespeople are the future. I tell every young person, get yourself a trade. Not only will you have a practical skill, it'll teach you how to solve problems. It'll teach you how things work. You can then turn that into a business and employ a lot of people. The best business people I make today are actually from a trades background. It's not the lawyers and the MBAs anymore, it's the tradespeople. They're the ones that are going to be ruling the world. And we need more of them. And we've got a real plan to do it. I've announced that I'm going to be partnering with unions like the UA, the IBEW, and many more to fund 350,000 training placements for our young people in the trades. We will bring back the $4,000 apprenticeship grant. We'll speed up the EI so that our workers can have money in their pocket when they're taking time to do their placement. We'll also bring tax fairness. The CEO can write off the cost of his private jet, but right now the working guy or the working lady can only write off $4,000 to travel between job sites. You're flying to Fort Mac 20 times a year, you're not going to make it on $4,000. So we're going to bring in the bill from Chris Lewis, a great bill. Tax fairness for traveling trades workers acts. We can write off the full cost of food, transportation, and accommodation. Go for one job for others. And every high school principal is going to get a present from me. It's going to be a big box, the size of this stage. In that box will be a module for each licensed trade so that they can get their 13, 14, 15-year-old kids started on a pre-apprenticeship so that they can get a jump start on a red seal before they even graduate from high school. Boots, not suits. Great tradespeople to bring the job and their paychecks home to safe neighborhoods. So we have to stop the crime for a change. Is there any crime in Windsor?
Yes!
Out of control. You know, your 16-year-old daughter. Wow. Did you hear that? Said this guy killed a young lady. He was out in 7 years and did it again. These are the stories we hear every day. Rampant offenders offending again and again and again. Do you know they tell the police now that they're not even worried about getting caught? It's too much trouble to try and avoid getting caught. So they don't even bother with it. They get arrested and then they're released again. The good news is we don't actually have a lot of criminals in Canada. The bad news is they are very productive. The same 40 offenders had to be arrested 6,000 times in Vancouver. In Penticton, there's one guy named Levi. When he's out of jail, he raises the crime rate for the entire city. Everyone in Penticton knows this guy. We've seen the countless stories of people murdered by someone who's out on bail, even after they've committed multiple offenses. Women were pleading with the system to keep their abuser behind bars, but they keep letting him out, and he comes back and reoffends and threatens the children. My friends, this is the madness that resulted from Liberal Catch and Release Law C-75, which requires judges release rampant offenders at, quote, the earliest opportunity and under the least onerous conditions. That's the law. Then there's C5, the house arrest bill. So you can do serious violent sexual or drug crimes and serve your sentence in your living room, watching Netflix or playing Grand Theft Auto while you run the clock down on your sentence. And then there's C83, the Liberal Get Paul Bernardo out of jail free card. My friends, we will repeal each and every one of these laws. Catch and release gone. House arrest gone. Paul Bernardo back to a maximum security penitentiary. We will bring in mandatory life sentences for human traffickers and mass gun smugglers. And anyone convicted of 3 separate serious offenses will be permanently ineligible for bail, parole, probation, or house arrest. 3 strikes, and you're out. 3 strikes, you're out. And then there's the drugs. There's the drugs that have overtaken our communities. Fentanyl, methamphetamines, and countless others. These deadly drugs are worse than anything we ever knew. When I was a kid, we were terrified of heroin. Our parents told us to be absolutely terrified of heroin. You know, fentanyl is 100 times more powerful than heroin. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can kill a human being. And yet, traffickers get out of jail after they sell kilograms of it. And we have the government actually handing out opioids. They claim it's a safe supply. Well, if you get a safe supply of opioids from the government, then you won't overdose or die from a contamination, they say. The result has been that the dealers sell these government-funded drugs to kids at a discount and use the money to graduate up to fentanyl. And that has led to 50,000 deaths. My friends, these stories are tragic, and I hear them everywhere I go. Mothers and fathers telling me of their wonderful children. Some of them made one mistake, went to a party, had too much to drink, and took a single hit which stopped their lungs. Others who got trapped because they took an opioid to relieve pain and never broke the addiction. Either way, the heartbreak is unbelievable. One man wrote me a letter saying that he held his wife's hand when she gave birth to their little baby boy. And then he held her hand 25 years later when the police knocked on the door to tell her that her boy had died of an overdose on a street corner. These stories have got to stop, and we have the plan to stop it. To start with, we will bring in mandatory life sentences for anyone caught marketing over 40 milligrams. Second, we will defund the opioids, and we will bring back penalties, criminal fines for illegal possession. Third, we will invest in treatment, recovery, and rehabilitation. We lost 50,000 people to opioid overdoses. In honor of every single one of them, we will fund treatment for 50,000 Canadians to bring our loved ones home drug-free. I told the young men that I met over at the Moncton Harvest House Treatment Center that I needed a favor from them. I said, I need you to get better so that you can get back on your feet, go back onto the street, and grab another person off the street, pull them in here so that they can get better, and then they're going to go out on the street, they're going to pull another person off the street, and that cycle of hope is going to end this crisis and save our loved ones. That's what hope means. And then there's our border, which, 99% of shipping containers come and go uninspected in Canada. You wonder where the drugs, guns, stolen cars move from, it's in those shipping containers. We don't even allow CBSA to monitor the points between official ports of entry. So people can just walk or send drones over the border, breaking our laws and threatening our people. My friends, enough is enough. We're going to secure the border. We will bring in watchtowers along the duration of the border. We'll hire 2,000 frontline CBSA officers by cutting consultants and bureaucratization to pay for it. And we're going to have high-powered scanners that look into the shipping containers to intercept the contraband. And you know how we're going to pay for it all? In addition to cutting back on the wasteful back office bureaucracy and consultants, We are also going to cut the wasteful multi-billion-dollar gun grab. Licensed, law-abiding, trained and tested sports shooters and hunters are not the problem. But, Mark Harney, do we have any hunters in the room today? The Liberals will ban every single hunting rifle. Just the other day, Mark Harney re-announced Justin Trudeau's already broken promise on this file, promising to go after the lawful people, the ones who have already been vetted by the RCMP, have taken tests, are lawfully storing their property. He wants to waste billions of dollars and tens of thousands of police hours going around harassing Grandpa Joe, who has a hunting rifle. All the police think it's insane. The Toronto Police Association said this will make us less safe because they'll be spending their time going after the good guys instead of the bad guys. This misses the target, my friends. I will repeal C-21. We will protect hunters. We will honor the people who lawfully follow the rules, and instead we will secure our borders and lock up those who sneak in with guns. Those people will go to jail for life, and our hunters will have a good life here in Canada. The choice of the next election is after the lost Liberal decade, rising crime. Do we want to trust them with a fourth term, or is it time for a change with a new government that will protect licensed, law-abiding people and bring safety back to our streets for a change? But to make our country truly safe, we need to rebuild the Canadian Armed Forces. To fill the vacancies that have so long grown up over the lost Liberal decade. We will buy 4 massive Arctic icebreakers. We'll double the size of the first patrol of the Canadian Arctic Rangers, and we will build the first Arctic base in the Northern Arctic since the Cold War. CMC in Iqaluit. We're going to expand the cadets to give our young people mentorship under the guidance of military and ranger members who will teach them about punctuality, discipline, and countless other lessons that will apply as they learn to serve their country and prepare for the future. We will put our country first and unite our people by fixing the broken Liberal immigration system. System in the world before the Liberals ruined it. They took on this radical century initiative, which seeks to increase our population to over 100 million people. We've seen the results. Adding people 3 times faster than we add homes leaves people without a place to live. And it's not the fault of the people coming into the country. They're good folks. They just want a better life. It's the fault of the Liberal government that has let this system spin out of control. When I am Prime Minister, God willing, if I'm given the privilege, we will fix this system. We will end the fraud in the international student program. We will stop allowing corporations to undermine wages by bringing in too many temporary foreign workers. We will cap population growth so that it is always below the growth in the housing stock, the job market, and in our healthcare system. We will bring our people together again. We're going to unite around our common identity, my friends. We're going to rebuild our statues, raise our flags, put our Canadian heroes back on our passports. We're no longer going to apologize for being Canadian. We're going to stand up for this country, bring our money home, put our people back in charge of their lives. But the only way you will get this change is if you vote for it. Are you going to get out and vote? Are you going to tell all your friends and neighbors that they need to get out and vote? Because you're voting for hope, you're voting for change, you're voting for Canada to have a bright future again. We will be a nation that harvests its resources, trades from Canadian to Canadian, builds homes for its youth, secures its borders, protects its vulnerable, honors its history, rebuilds its military, and raises its flag. We are not a nation of tax collectors and toll masters, of gatekeepers and grandees, of rulers and rule makers. No, we are a nation of artists and adventurers, of entrepreneurs and explorers, of workers and warriors, of pioneers and patriots. What binds us together is the Canadian promise that anyone who works hard can get a great life. That is the hope of Canada. So my message to you, if you are that single mother going to bed hungry, wondering how you'll feed your kids in the morning, have hope, because change is on the way. The aluminum worker who's worried about losing your job, have hope, because change is on the way. To the mistreated veteran who wonders why his government disrespects him, that will be the case no longer. We thank you and we say, have hope, because change is on the way for you too. We will restore the great Canadian promise that hard work gets you a great life in a beautiful and affordable home on a safe street, protected by brave troops under a proud flag. Canada first for a change. Let's bring it home, Windsor!